If you want to talk about someone who was attacked by a weaponized bureau, you're looking at him. And now he's the director of the FBI and he's cleaning it up.
Three minutes ago, Patty Murray did something nobody expected. She didn't ease into it. She didn't build up slowly. She walked into that Senate Intelligence Committee hearing, sat down, opened a red folder marked confidential, and looked directly at Kash Patel. The room went cold. Everyone could feel it. That shift in energy when you know something massive is about to drop. And if you are new here, subscribe right now and hit that bell, because what happened in the next 12 minutes will be replayed on every news channel tonight. You need to see this first. Let me paint the scene for you. Senate Hart Building, room 216, wood-paneled walls, C-SPAN cameras positioned at 3 angles, gallery packed with reporters who somehow knew this wasn't going to be a standard oversight session. Kash Patel sat at the witness table. Dark suit, red tie, that expression he always wears, calm, controlled. The practiced look of a man who has been through hundreds of these hearings and knows exactly how to navigate them. 3 lawyers flanked him. 2 aides sat behind. Standard formation. Patty Murray entered late. Not fashionably late, strategically late. She'd been in these hearings before, but today something was different. She carried only 1 folder, read, thick, and the way she placed it on the desk carefully, deliberately. You knew that folder contained something Patel didn't want revealed. The first 40 minutes were routine. Budget allocations for FBI field offices, personnel transfers, counterterrorism briefings, standard questions from other committee members. Patel handled them smoothly. He always does. The man knows how to run out a clock without looking like he is running out of clock. He checked his watch once, adjusted his microphone twice, looked bored, then Murray's turn came. Director Patel, she said. Her voice was calm, too calm. The kind of calm that comes right before a storm. I want to talk about classification protocols. Patel nodded slightly, of course, Senator. Specifically, Murray continued, I want to understand why certain documents that were previously cleared for congressional review have been reclassified since you became FBI director. Patel's expression didn't change, but if you were watching closely, and I was watching very closely, you saw his left hand flatten against the table. Just slightly. Senator, classification reviews are routine procedures mandated by. I am not asking about routine procedures. Murray's voice sharpened, just a fraction. I am asking about specific documents. She opened the red folder. The room shifted. That energy I mentioned earlier, it just doubled. On the 22nd of March of this year, Murray said, reading from the first page, your office issued a directive to the FBI's Classification Review Board. The directive ordered an expedited review of all documents related to what you called sensitive ongoing matters involving current and former government officials. Patel sat perfectly still. Senator, without seeing the specific document you are referencing, you don't need to see it, Director. You signed it. Silence. Complete silence. Not the polite waiting for an answer kind. The heavy, uncomfortable kind that presses down on everyone in the room. Murray pulled out a second document. This is the memo. Your signature is at the bottom. Would you like me to hold it up for the cameras? One of Patel's lawyers leaned in, whispered something. Patel shook his head slightly. Senator, he said carefully, classification decisions are made based on established criteria involving national security considerations, ongoing investigative interests, and protecting powerful people from accountability. The words hung in the air like smoke. Patel's jaw tightened. Barely visible, but it was there. I reject that characterization entirely. Then help me understand. Murray flipped to another page. Because according to this internal FBI memo, which I obtained through a whistleblower complaint, 37 documents were reclassified between March and July of this year. 37, all of them previously cleared for release, all of them containing information about individuals in positions of power. She looked up at Patel. That is not national security, Director. That is a pattern. Now, I need to pause here for a second. If you are still watching, and I hope you are because this gets even more intense, do me a favor. Hit that like button. Seriously, this content needs to reach as many people as possible. And engagement tells YouTube this matters. Drop a comment too. Let me know what you think. Okay, back to the hearing. Patel tried to regain control. Senator Murray, with all due respect, you are drawing conclusions from incomplete information. The FBI's classification protocols are designed to. I am drawing conclusions from a whistleblower who works in your classification review board. Murray's voice cut through his answer like a blade. Someone who is so disturbed by what they witnessed that they came to this committee with evidence. She pulled out another document. This one had multiple colored tabs sticking out from the sides. This is a sworn statement from an FBI analyst. I am not going to read their name because they've requested protection, which my office has granted. but I will read portions of their testimony. The gallery erupted in whispers. Reporters were already typing on their phones. One of the C-SPAN cameras zoomed in closer on Murray's folder. Quote, Murray began reading. In my 15 years with the FBI, I have never witnessed such systematic efforts to reclassify documents that had already been cleared for release. The directive came directly from the director's office. We were told to prioritize any documents that mentioned specific names. When I asked why, I was told it was a matter of national security. But the documents I reviewed had nothing to do with national security. They were witness statements, visitor logs, and correspondence. She looked up at Patel. Does this sound familiar, Director? Patel's face had gone through several expressions in the last 30 seconds: surprise, calculation, anger. Now it's settled into that blank mask politicians wear when they're trapped, but don't want anyone to know it. Senator, I cannot comment on the allegations of an unnamed individual. Then let me be more specific. Murray flipped to another tab. Let me tell you exactly what documents were reclassified. The room went completely silent. Even the reporters stopped typing. Document Alpha 72, visitor logs from a private residence in Palm Beach, Florida, previously cleared for release in 2019, reclassified in April 2025 under your directive. Patel's hands were flat on the table now, pressing down hard. Document Beta 39, witness testimony from an individual who worked at that same residence. Previously cleared, reclassified in May. One of the committee members, I couldn't see who actually gasped. Document Charlie 51, flight manifests showing travel patterns of multiple individuals between 2002 and 2015, previously cleared, reclassified in June. Murray looked directly at Patel. 12 documents in total, Director. All related to the same investigation, all previously cleared, all reclassified within months of you taking office. She paused, let that sink in. Now, you said classification decisions are based on national security. So explain to me, Director Patel, what national security interest is served by hiding visitor logs from 15 years ago? Patel opened his mouth, closed it, opened it again. Senator, without reviewing the specific documents in question, I cannot provide detailed. You don't need to review them. You are the one who ordered them reclassified. The temperature in the room had shifted. It wasn't just Murray pressing Patel anymore. Every person watching, every reporter taking notes, every committee member leaning forward in their seat, they all knew they were witnessing something significant. Director Patel, Murray said, her voice quieter now, but somehow more powerful. Let me ask you a direct question. Did you personally order the reclassification of documents related to Jeffrey Epstein's associates? The name dropped like a bomb, Epstein. There it was, the connection everyone had been whispering about for months, but nobody in an official capacity had stated directly on the record. Until now, Patel's face went pale, actually pale. You could see it under the hearing room lights. Senator, the FBI does not make classification decisions based on the names involved. We follow established protocols. That is not what I asked. Murray's voice was steel now. I asked if you personally ordered the reclassification of documents related to Epstein's associates. Yes or no? 20 seconds of silence. In a congressional hearing, 20 seconds might as well be 20 hours. It is the sound of a witness realizing they have no good answer. It is the moment everyone watching knows they're seeing someone trapped. Senator Murray. Patel finally said, his voice quieter now, more defensive. The FBI's handling of sensitive materials involves complex considerations that cannot be reduced to yes or no, Director. I cannot answer that question without compromising cannot or will not. Patel fell silent. Murray nodded slowly like she just confirmed something she already knew. Let me help you then, she said. She pulled out another document. This one was different. Single page, no tabs. She held it up so everyone could see it, including the cameras. This is a list of names. 17 names. All of them appear in documents that were reclassified under your directive. All of them connected to Jeffrey Epstein in some capacity. And all of them, Director Patel, are powerful people, politicians, businessmen, donors. She set the paper down. I am not going to read these names out loud, not today, because unlike you, I believe in following proper procedures. But I am going to submit this list to the committee record under seal. And I am going to demand that you explain to this committee under oath why these specific names warranted the reclassification of previously cleared documents. Patel looked at his lawyers. They had nothing. No note being passed, no whispered guidance. He was completely alone. Senator, he said slowly, I want to be very clear. The FBI does not make decisions based on protecting individuals. Our only concern is, then release the document, simple, direct. Unanswerable. That decision is not solely within my. You are the FBI director. You have the authority to declassify documents. You've done it before when it served your purposes. So do it now. Release the documents, let the American people see what is in those visitor logs, what is in those witness statements, what is in those flight manifests. Murray leaned forward. Unless, of course, there is a reason you don't want them released. Unless there are names in those documents that would cause problems for people you are trying to protect. The accusation hung in the air, not implied. Direct, Patel's hands were shaking now slightly, but visible. Senator Murray, I find your implication. I am not implying anything, Director. I am stating facts. 37 documents previously cleared, reclassified under your watch, all connected to one investigation, all containing names of powerful individuals. She gathered her papers. And you, sitting here today, cannot provide a single legitimate reason why those documents need to remain classified. National security, these are visitor logs from a decade ago. Ongoing investigations, Epstein is dead, Maxwell is in prison. There is no ongoing investigation. Her voice rose. So what are you hiding? Who are you protecting? And why should the American people trust an FBI director who uses classification protocols as a shield to protect the powerful from accountability? The hearing technically continued after that. Other senators asked other questions, something about cybersecurity, something about field office staffing. Nobody cared. Nobody was listening. Because Patty Murray had just done what nobody else had been willing to do. She'd connected the dots publicly, on the record, with evidence, Kash Patel and Jeffrey Epstein. Not speculation, not conspiracy theory. Congressional testimony backed by whistleblower evidence and internal FBI memos. Within minutes, clips were everywhere. Twitter exploded. TikTok went viral. Cable news interrupted regular programming. Legal analysts were already debating whether Patel had committed obstruction. And somewhere in FBI headquarters, staffers were probably in full panic mode, trying to figure out how to respond. But here is what matters most. Here is what you need to understand. This isn't just about Kash Patel. This isn't even just about the FBI. This is about a system that protects powerful people, a system where evidence gets buried, documents get reclassified, and the truth gets locked away behind national security classifications that have nothing to do with security and everything to do with power. Patty Murray just exposed that system. She didn't hint at it. She didn't dance around it. She put evidence on the table and demanded answers. And Kash Patel sat there sweating under the lights, unable to provide a single convincing response. I don't know what happens next. Maybe nothing. Maybe this gets buried like everything else. Maybe the news cycle moves on and everyone forgets, but maybe not. Maybe this is the moment. Maybe Murray just lit a fuse that can't be put out. Maybe the pressure to release those documents just became too strong to resist. Patel has to respond. Now he has to explain those 37 reclassifications. He has to look the American people in the eye and tell them this is all just standard procedure. Good luck with that. Because what Murray showed today isn't a coincidence. It is not a routine classification review. It is a pattern, a deliberate, systematic effort to hide information that connects powerful people to Jeffrey Epstein. And now it is on the congressional record under oath. With evidence, the wall is cracking, the truth is coming out. And Kash Patel just ran out of places to hide. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that bell icon because this story is far from over. Murray just fired the opening shot. And when the next development drops, you are going to want to be here first. Share this video, get it out there. This conversation needs to reach everyone. The American people deserve to know what is being hidden from them. They deserve to know who is being protected. They deserve the truth. 3 minutes, that is all it took for Patty Murray to do what nobody else would do. To ask the questions nobody else would ask, to demand the answers Kash Patel clearly doesn't want to give. The documents are out there. The names are in those files. And the only thing standing between the American people and the truth is one FBI director who just got exposed on national television. The hearing ended 20 minutes ago. I am still processing what I watched. A senator with evidence, an FBI director with nothing but deflections, and a list of 17 names that changes everything. Watch until the end of this video, because I am going to show you Murray's exact words one more time. The moment when Patel's face changed, the silence that said everything, this is history. This is the moment when someone in power finally said enough. And Kash Patel, he is sitting somewhere right now knowing that everything just changed. The truth is coming out. One hearing at a time, one document at a time, one brave senator at a time. Stay tuned.